Hello, WWE wrestling fans. Welcome to a special episode of Pro Wrestling 101, and welcome to another episode of WWE Top 10. I'm your host, WWE fanboy Alex Cardinale. Today I'm kicking off a new series for WWE Top 10. We are going to be doing a best of 2021 for WWE, starting with today's episode. Since there are no more pay-per-views for this year, I am going to recap some of the best moments, some of the best matches, and some of the best feuds of 2021 here on my series WWE Top 10 here on Pro Wrestling 101 on my YouTube channel. So before we begin, I want to thank everybody for taking the time to tune into today's video. I hope you enjoy it. And if you're watching this video live, make sure to leave a like on today's video. And if you're catching the video on the replay, be sure to leave a like as well. Shout out to my friend Jeffrey for tuning in once again. He says, yo, 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 the people's champion, legendary A.C.E. Let's go. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Jeff, for tuning in. So to get my best of 2021 started for the WWE, today I'm going to be talking about the top 10 feuds of 2021. This year, WWE had a lot going on in 2021. Live fans returned at WrestleMania, which was great. WrestleMania 37 was a pretty good WrestleMania, considering that it broadcast live from my favorite NFL team stadium, Raymond James Stadium, home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Also, 2021 was the end of the Thunderdome era as WWE returned permanently to live crowds at Money in the Bank this year. But those are some of the moments that are going to be saved for a future episode of Best of 2021 in the WWE. Today, we're going to talk about the best feuds of 2021. There are so many feuds from this year that are great. I'm going to talk about the most popular ones and the ones that I really enjoyed today. So, before we begin, I would like to let you guys know you can be a part of today's show, as always. I'm always interested in hearing from fellow WWE fans that tune into my show, and I'm always happy to see them share their opinions and what they think about the WWE topic that we're talking about today. So, what are some of your favorite feuds from the year 2021? Let me know in the comments, or if you're watching on YouTube, let me know in the chat. You can also come live on the show to share your favorite feuds as well. All you have to do is click the link that's in my YouTube chat, as well as the link that's on my Facebook. So it's this link right here. You can click that and come on and share your favorite feuds from this year on today's video. Jeff has a funny comment. He says, my favorite feud was Gene Snitsky versus Boo Boo. That's funny. Gene Snitsky was a funny wrestler. Very, very goofy looking in my personal opinion. All right, so now that we know that you guys can be a part of today's show, let's get started. Here are my top 10 best feuds of 2021. Coming in at number 10 is this feud. This was a great feud to begin 2021. Actually, this feud took place in the summer of 2021, and it recently just ended last month. It is Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley. Now, Goldberg and Lashley are two dominant giants in the pro wrestling industry. Goldberg was undefeated for so many years in his career, and Lashley was dominant for a big majority of his years picking up a win for President Trump when he faced Umaga at WrestleMania 23. And this year he's been billed as a dominant superstar. Lashley dominated Goldberg at SummerSlam this year. And then then Goldberg got his revenge in a victory at WWE Crown Jewel by spearing Lashley off the barricade through a table on the floor. That was a pretty cool spear, in my opinion. So Goldberg and Lashley was a pretty good feud this year. It's not a 10-star feud or what I would recommend to a first-time wrestling fan, but as a fan of a legend like Goldberg and as a fan of Lashley, they did a good job selling this feud. All right, coming in at number 9 is another feud consisting of Bobby Lashley. And this is one that I was talking about earlier. It started off early in 2021, right around WrestleMania season. And it's when Bobby Lashley beat Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. And it led to a championship run for Bobby Lashley. So coming in at number 9 is Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. This was a pretty good feud that elevated both McIntyre and Bobby Lashley to the main event scene. McIntyre was already in the main event scene since WrestleMania 36, but he needed someone to make him look even stronger, and Lashley did that job very, very well. I think Bobby Lashley proved this year that he can hang with some of WWE's best talents like Goldberg and Bobby Lashley. I think Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley had a great rivalry this year, and I'm hoping to see McIntyre continue to be pushed in the main event scene in 2022. Shout out to Mike for tuning in live. Hey, Mike, how are you doing? He says, hey, it's great to see you, Alex. Love the content. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate your view. All right, coming in at number 8 is one of the best women's feuds that I've seen in a long time. And I've been a fan of Trish Stratus. I've been a fan of Victoria. And more recently, I've been a fan of Ronda Rousey. But this feud this year was pretty awesome. It's up there with the classic women feuds. And that is Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. So coming in at number 8 is Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. And it was the first time that two black women main evented WrestleMania. The main event of WrestleMania Night 1 was Sasha Banks defending her SmackDown title against Bianca Belair. And for me, it was this match alone that made this feud worthy. The way they hyped up this feud for WrestleMania 37 was awesome in my personal opinion, but what delivered the most was the match itself. Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair stole the show at WrestleMania 37, and they proved that women can belong in the main event scene of WrestleMania if they work their asses off and put together a good match. And Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks did just that this year at WrestleMania 37. Really, really good feud that did a purpose. It helped establish Bianca Belair, and she was able to have a good run for a few months as the SmackDown Women's Champion until SummerSlam when Becky Lynch returned and beat her in 30 seconds. That's the only thing that I regret that WWE did with Bianca Belair is they had her lose the title so soon. And at SummerSlam in 30 seconds to returning Becky Lynch. But I can't change history. All right, coming in at number 7, a match that was the main event of SummerSlam, and that is Roman Reigns versus John Cena. Now, Roman Reigns and John Cena can be considered two of the greatest WWE superstars of all time. And I know that is a very controversial saying, but if we look at history And we see some of the superstars that Vince McMahon has pushed over the last decade. Roman Reigns is definitely one of them, and John Cena is definitely one of them. Look at all the main events that John Cena's had over the last 2 decades against Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and some other legends. And then Roman Reigns has been in the WrestleMania main event for several years against The Undertaker, Triple H, Drew McIntyre, and Edge and Daniel Bryan. So this was the battle of 2 legendary superstars between Reigns and Cena. The match was good, but the feud was a lot better because Reigns and Cena made it personal with each other. And I like that in a rivalry. Even though this was a one-off match, just the main event, SummerSlam, and to sell SummerSlam, it was great because we went into SummerSlam not knowing what was going to happen. We didn't know if Cena was going to win or if Reigns would retain and Cena would attack Reigns after the match, allowing Big E to cash in his Money in the Bank contract. But in reality, it led to Reigns winning and the return of a babyface Brock Lesnar, which is another reason why I like this feud, because it set up long-term booking. And now we've got a babyface Lesnar that's going to challenge Reigns for the Universal title heading into the biggest pay-per-view of the year, WrestleMania. And I could see Brock Lesnar winning the title to kickstart 2022 at either day 1 or the Royal Rumble, leading to Reigns challenging back at WrestleMania. That is one way to book that main event for WrestleMania 38. So Reigns and Cena was a good feud this year. All right, coming in at number 6 is in terms of technical wrestling. 2 of the best superstars in the WWE. One is a very strong superstar, and I think he has a great future in the WWE if the WWE utilizes him correctly and makes him a main event star. He proved he belongs at WrestleMania with his performance at WrestleMania 37 this year. And that, of course, is Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. The Seth Rollins and Cesaro feud was very entertaining, and it was awesome. But what I liked most about this feud was that WWE was pushing Cesaro as not having a major win at WrestleMania. But now Cesaro finally has that victory under his belt. And after his feud with Seth Rollins, he had a chance at the Universal title against Roman Reigns. But ultimately, Cesaro lost both of those matches. So hopefully Cesaro in the future will continue to get championship matches. I think he ultimately deserves it. He proves that he belongs in the main event scene with Rollins and Reigns, and I think he's a great superstar. He's definitely underutilized in my personal opinion, but his feud with Rollins proved that he can hang with the best of them, and the match itself at WrestleMania 37. And I believe they had another match on the Throwback SmackDown of this year. Both those matches that I've seen in length were awesome. Great technical wrestling, and I really enjoyed this feud. All right, coming in at number 5 is a match of a WWE Hall of Famer versus the Universal Champion. It was what the main event of WrestleMania Night 2 should have been. Edge versus Roman Reigns. This was a great feud that started after Edge won the Royal Rumble. And it lasted from the end of the Royal Rumble all the way to Money in the Bank, and that is where this feud ended. But leading into WrestleMania 37, we did not know who Edge was going to pick for his WrestleMania opponent and the championship he was going after. So he played mind games with the WWE champion, Drew McIntyre, the NXT champion, and then the Universal champion. And then at WWE Elimination Chamber this year, Edge would finally pick Roman Reigns, by delivering a spear and announcing that he would face Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania 37. But we all know that WWE would eventually add Daniel Bryan to make it a triple threat match, but it was still a good feud between Edge and Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. And then after Edge took the loss at WrestleMania 37, he took a few months hiatus and then returned for Money in the Bank. And he kicked Roman Reigns' ass on SmackDown, which got us hyped up for Edge and Reigns at Money in the Bank, which was a great main event match for the return of live crowds. And I think Edge delivered in this match. He looked strong in this match, even in defeat. He looked pretty damn strong, and Edge still has it for his age, considering his neck and what he's been through to return to wrestling. I have a lot of respect for Edge and a lot of respect for Roman Reigns. This was one hell of a feud for 2021, one of my personal favorites as well. And it gets better because Edge is featured in our number one feud of 2021, which we're going to get to in a few minutes here on this episode. All right, coming in at number 4 is another feud involving the Universal Champion, Roman Reigns, and it is Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns. Now, I know that Daniel Bryan was added to the main event of WrestleMania 37, but he began the year in February challenging Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, and they had a classic match at Elimination Chamber, and I believe it was also Fastlane. They had a few great matches, but the match that I remember this year was the match where if Reigns beat Daniel Bryan, he would be fired from SmackDown. That was the best match that Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns had. But their feud throughout the year delivered. There were times where I thought Daniel Bryan would be winning the Universal Championship, and that's great in-ring work. When a superstar has you on the edge of your seat, thinking that they're going to win the title, they're doing their job. But ultimately, we know that Vince values Roman Reigns a lot, and he does not want Roman Reigns to lose the title until it's to someone credible. No way he was dropping the title to Daniel Bryan, that's for sure, in my personal opinion. And we all know Daniel Bryan wanted to try something new, so he went over to AEW. All right, so before we get into our top 3 feuds of 2021, I'd like to remind all our live viewers out there that you can share your favorite feuds of 2021 by posting them in the comments or in the live chat. You could also come live on the show to share your favorite feuds. All you've got to do is click the link that's in my YouTube chat if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're watching on Facebook, which I believe I have a few viewers on Facebook, the link is under the video description on Facebook. All right, let's get right back to our conversation now. And as always, if we have any viewer comments and if anyone joins the video, we'll react to them. All right, coming in at number 3 is the second best women's feud of 2021. And this one is kind of a rehash from a 2019 feud, the WrestleMania 35 feud. But this feud was built around Survivor Series. Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch taking on SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. What made this feud different than WrestleMania 35 is that both of these superstars were champions heading into this year's Survivor Series, and this was a really personal feud. Charlotte Flair did not want to swap titles with Becky Lynch, and there was a lot of backstage politics going on and a lot of issues backstage that were going on. And WWE did not know how to book this match, so they came up with a screwy finish that made both Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair look strong in the end. It was a great feud. a great personal touch to this rivalry that's been going on for a few years now. And overall, it delivered on its personality factor. I don't think we'll be seeing Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch anytime soon, unless both of these superstars lose their titles in the next month and they have to face off each other in the Royal Rumble. But I think this Survivor Series match was the final time these superstars will meet for at least the next year and more. So that was our third best feud of 2021. Coming in second place is a feud that started in 2020 around WWE TLC. And surprisingly, there was no TLC pay-per-view this year because of WWE Day 1, which will air on Saturday, January 1st. But this feud started in December of 2020 and concluded at WrestleMania 37. And ultimately, WrestleMania 37 was the final time that we saw The Fiend in a WWE ring. And the feud I'm talking about is, of course, Randy Orton versus The Fiend. It was a well-delivered feud. However, the finish to this feud is a little bit nonsensical and a little bit controversial. I don't like the finish to this feud at all. I think The Fiend should have got the victory at WrestleMania 37. I really don't understand the finish to the feud. Why do we need to make Alexa Bliss look strong? And why do we need to make Randy Orton look strong? When Randy Orton practically looked strong a lot through this feud. But it was cool to see The Fiend get burned alive, and then it was cool to see the Fiend returned with a new Burns gimmick at Elimination Chamber 2000. Was it Elimination Chamber? No, I think it was Fastlane. I think it was Fastlane 2021 where the Fiend returned with a burned look. That was pretty cool. The match at WrestleMania 37 to end the feud under-delivered and left us with a shitty finish. But overall, the feud itself was great. And now, the best feud of 2021. I hope you guys will agree with me that this is the best feud of 2021. And this feud is, again, consisting of the Rated R Superstar and WWE Hall of Famer, Edge. And it is Edge versus Seth Rollins. Now, Edge and Rollins had a trio of matches. They had 3 matches, one at SummerSlam 2021, one at a Super SmackDown from Madison Square Garden, and the most recent one was a Hell in a Cell match in Saudi Arabia at WWE Crown Jewel. This feud started at Money in the Bank when Seth Rollins got involved in the Universal Championship main event match between Edge and Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank, and he cost Edge the Universal Championship. And the feud would go on from there. Edge would issue a challenge to face Rollins at SummerSlam. Edge would eventually bring back the Brood gimmick, which to me is one of WWE's best moments of 2021. And Edge would defeat Seth Rollins at SummerSlam 2021 with the Brood gimmick. And he delivered a devastating spear in this match off the apron, and then he beat Rollins at SummerSlam. Then Rollins would get a victory at the Super SmackDown in Madison Square Garden, temporarily injuring Edge until Edge came back for Crown Jewel in a hard-fought back-and-forth Hell in a Cell match, which was the perfect match to end this feud. Rollins and Edge tore the house down to open up Crown Jewel with the Hell in a Cell match, but in the end, Edge won after hitting the curb stomp on Seth Rollins, and Edge ended the feud with a victory. So, in my personal opinion, the best feud of 2021 for WWE was Edge versus Seth Rollins. And there you have it, folks. Those are my 10 best feuds of 2021 for WWE. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And if you want, share with me your favorite WWE feuds of this year by posting them in the comments, and I will react to them. And again, if you're catching the replay of this video, all you've got to do is go in the comment section of YouTube and type your favorite feuds of this year. I appreciate your view. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like on today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I've got more WWE content coming your way, including my next episode of WWE Top 10, which will be taking place sometime next week. And I'll be talking about the top 10 best matches of 2021, which I'll explain in just a second. And then I've got a 10 best moments of 2021, 5 best pay-per-views of 2021, and much more. As 2021 wraps up, I will wrap up the year that was for WWE 2021 right here on the legendary Alex Cardinale. And then to kick off 2022, I will, of course, have the WWE Day 1 pre-show, which will air on Friday, December 31st, 2021 at 11:30, or it will air Saturday, January 1st in the afternoon. I think I'll do that. I think I'll do Saturday, January 1st at like 4 p.m. And that'll be the very first video of 2022, which will be amazing. And then I have the Royal Rumble 2022 pre-show, and I'll have a very special WWE Top 10 countdown of the Royal Rumble. And I will do my predictions of the Royal Rumble 2022 entries, which should be awesome. So WWE fans, if you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe right now. The legendary Alex Cardinale. And don't miss my next WWE Top 10, Part 2 of the Best of 2021. I will talk about the 10 best matches of 2021 next Tuesday. So make sure you join me for that. With that being said, don't miss Friday Night SmackDown this Friday with the return of the Beast, Brock Lesnar. What will Brock Lesnar have in store for Universal Champion Roman Reigns and Adam Pearce? Find out this Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on Fox. Thank you, WWE fans and pro wrestling fans, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I will see you on the next episode of WWE Top 10 with Alex Cardinale. Peace out, happy holidays, and stay safe, everybody. Legendary Alex Cardinale here to announce the legendary Alex Cardinale subscriber giveaway presented by Texas Roadhouse. This giveaway is for all of you, all 16,000 of you subscribed to my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. On Sunday, March 6th, 2022, I will be celebrating my 8th year as a YouTuber. I will be hosting my 8-year YouTube anniversary. And in order to celebrate that, I'm going to say thank you to my 16,000 subscribers by hosting a prize giveaway presented by Texas Roadhouse. The prize for this giveaway is a customized $75 Texas Roadhouse gift card signed by yours truly, the legendary Alex Cardinale. I will sign the gift card and send it your way. So here is how to enter this contest to win a $75 Texas Roadhouse gift card. Film a video discussing your favorite meal at Texas Roadhouse and your favorite video of mine and favorite thing about my YouTube channel. Now, if you have never eaten at Texas Roadhouse before, then just discuss your favorite video of mine and your favorite thing about my YouTube channel. Email the video to alexgoyankiecardinale19@gmail.com by March 1st, 2022. Anyone that is subscribed to my channel can enter. So I suggest entering so that you can have an all-exclusive entree, appetizer, and dessert, and maybe even a margarita at Texas Roadhouse, courtesy of the legendary Alex Cardinale. So enter right now. Deadline for entry is Tuesday, March 1st, 2022. All video entries will be uploaded to my YouTube channel and the legendary Alex Cardinale subscriber giveaway playlist. Video with the most likes and views wins. The winner will be announced live on March 6th, 2022 during my 8-year YouTube anniversary. Good luck, everybody. Enter now. Remember, entry's deadline is March 1st. Stay legendary, everybody. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everyone. Santa Claus Alex Cardinale here, inviting you to be a part of the inaugural Christmas 2021 Bash, airing live just 2 days before Christmas, Thursday, December 23rd, 2021 at 11:15 p.m. Eastern, 8:15 p.m. Pacific. Join me, Santa Claus Alex Cardinale, for a fun Christmas 2021 bash, featuring an appearance from Chef Alex with Chef Alex's best cookie recipes. I have a very important message to give as Santa Claus, and I'll give out Christmas present ideas and so much more. Merry Christmas, everyone, and happy holidays. Mark your calendars, Thursday, December 23rd, 2021, 11:15 p.m. Eastern, 8:15 p.m. Pacific. Christmas 2021 Bash, live right here on Alex's YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. See you then, folks. Merry Christmas.